So this is an example of a paper 2 question. It's 15 marks, and generally on paper 2 there's only usually around 5 questions, but there are a lot more marks and a lot more parts to it. So this is an example of a question using sequences. So to start off with, it says that the marathon is a race over a distance of 42.19 kilometers, and we need to write that down to the nearest kilometer. So the first part of the question here is rounding, and to the nearest kilometer, if it's 42.19, then that one that we're looking at, the next one after the kilometers, is smaller than 5, and therefore it would just round to 42 kilometers. So a nice easy part for the first part there. So this is A part I. Let's just move that around. And for part 2, it asks us to find the percentage error if 42.19 is rounded to the nearest kilometre. So using the percentage error formula that's in our book, it is the approximate answer, which is 42, minus the real answer, which is 42.19, all divided by the real answer, which is 42.19. And if we write it down like the formula book has, then this would be an absolute value, meaning it has to be positive. We times it by 100, and then that gives us our final answer. So we can do that on our calculator. We can do 42 minus, and then it's 42.19. That answer is divided by 42.19, and we want to take the positive value there, and we're going to times it by 100. And we can see there that the answer is 0.45%. Don't forget we're ignoring the negative, so it's just 0.45%. Now it should be written to 3 significant figures, and to 3 significant figures we would leave the 0 there. We can see here that the 3, the next digit, again it doesn't round this up to a 1, so it stays as an O, and it's 0.450. Then we have part B, and part B says that to train for this marathon, they're going to be starting training on the same week, these 2 people, Ronaldo and Davi. Ronaldo runs 6 kilometers in the first week, 8 kilometers in the second, 10 in the third, and each subsequent week he runs an extra 2. So I'm just going to write that down first of all. So the first week is 6, the second week is 8, the third week is 10, and we know that it just keeps increasing by 2. So the first thing I could do is just remind myself that this is an arithmetic sequence where I'm increasing by 2 each time. So the difference there is 2. And we know that the first term is 6. We can see there that the first term is 6. So using our equation for an arithmetic sequence, or the nth term formula, I know that I have un is equal to the first term plus n minus 1 lots of the difference. Whoops, the difference is 2. And it asks us, for part B, find the week during which Ronaldo runs 42 kilometers. So I want to know, when is the actual answer here 42? What term is it that I'm looking for? So 42 is equal to 6 plus n minus 1 times 2. And I'm actually going to do this on my calculator. So I'm going to use numeric solver. When is 42 equal to 6 plus, and then it's x minus 1 times 2. And if I solve that, I can see that it happens in week 19, in which case n is 19, and we should really write that down as week 19. And then part C, so part C here, this asks us to find the total distance that this arithmetic sequence essentially goes in the first 10 weeks. So we're going to go to our formula book and find the formula for an arithmetic sequence. And it's n over 2 times u1 plus n minus 1 lots of the difference. I should put this as n. There we go. So to do it for the first 10 terms for this particular sequence, it's 10 over 2, and then it's 2 times the first term, which was 6, plus 10 minus 1 lots of the difference. And again, I'm just going to type that into my calculator to work out the final answer. And if I did that, I would get an answer of 150 kilometers. Part D, the next one. Now it says that Davy runs 3 kilometers in the first week, and each subsequent week he runs 20% further than the previous week. And this is a geometric sequence, so we need to make sure that we know that this is geometric. We're not getting confused with our previous question. Whereas here, this was arithmetic, so that we know that we're using the right formulas. And we need to find, for the first part, for part D, find the first week they ran more than 42. So again, we're going to be using the nth term formula. Okay, let's write down what his sequence is. So it's 3 in the first week, and every week after he runs 20% further. So that means that I'm timesing by 1.20 or 1.2. So if the first week is 3, then I can say 3 times 1.2. So my second term is 3.6. And I could continue doing that to find multiple terms, or I can just leave it like that. So the formula to find the nth term of a geometric sequence is un plus u1, is equal to u1 times r to the power of n minus 1. Now we know that the first term of this geometric is 3 and that the r value is 1.2. So un is equal to 3 times 1.2 to the power of n minus 1. And if we're trying to work out the first time he runs more than 42, I'm looking for what is the value of n when that equals 42. So again, I'm just going to use my calculator for this. Let's do numeric solver. So 42 equals, and it's 3 times 1.2 to the power of x minus 1. We can do all this on the calculator, and it's 15.47. So we should show that answer, 15.47 or 0.5, rounded to 3 significant figures. Now that means that our answer is 16 weeks, because it asks what is the first week that they run more than 42. Now, if 15.5 weeks is when they hit 42, then I need to round up, not down. Okay. And then the last part, part E, we need to find the first week that the total distance that they've run exceeds 150. So this is a total sequence. So again, I need to use my equation for the summation. So the summation of my sequence or my series will be the first term, which is 3 times r to the power of n minus 1 all over r minus 1. And I'm wanting to know when is the first time that exceeds 150. So 150 is equal to 3 times 1.2 to the n all over 1.2 minus 1. So now I'm going to go to my numeric solver, same as I've done each time. And this time I want to know when is 150, and it's 3 times, in fact, let's do a fraction here. So 3 times, and it's 1.2 to the power of x, this is what I'm trying to find, minus 1, and then it's over 1.2 minus 1. And I can see there that it's 13.15, so 13.2. And again, I need to make sure that I'm rounding that correctly. It's the first week that it exceeds 150. So since it exceeds, I need to round up, and it would therefore be at 14 weeks. So at 14 weeks is the first time that we have run over 150 kilometers.